Hey everybody! Are you there? Hey guys, so today I have how to score using your Sizzix. And this idea I kind of came up with while I was working on my daughter's Valentine's again, just because I was making a lot of rosettes, and I mentioned in my other videos that I hate scoring, like continuously scoring. So if it's just one or two lines then it's fine, but you know, if it's a long strip of paper and there's like 30 score lines I have to mark, and it gets annoying. And so while I was working on that, I tried actually, I knew I could do it, like the embossing folder idea. I knew that I could do that, but I just didn't think there was an embossing folder that would be able to do that for me, because I don't think anybody, and none of the companies have really taken advantage of making like strips just to score, which I think is very useful because I hate scoring. So I actually tried to make my own folder and it was kind of like a failure. Let me go get it really quickly. I'll show you. Okay, this is my first try and I kind of gave up on it right away. And I could have done it with paper, but I thought this would work, and it did because I made a cleaner version of this and it worked, but the lines weren't even, and obviously because I used glue from the glue stick. But you see how it's going to mark out the lines with the glue from the glue gun, sorry. Yeah, I gave up on it and then it just made squiggly lines. And that was in a folder like that. And it actually does mark the lines. The one that I made after that, it was a lot cleaner and it does mark the lines, but it doesn't, it's not as great as what I found. Now, yesterday or the day before, I went to Hobby Lobby and I went looking for some, sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. I went looking for some, I don't even remember what it was. I think it was either die cuts. Tita's Maria, you're in the camera. Unless you want to be there. And some embossing folders. And then when I saw this, I knew exactly what I was going to use it for. And this is from the Paper Studio. And it's the cheapest brand that they have at Hobby Lobby. It's $4.99 the pack. And then I just used a coupon for 40% off. And so it was $3, which is awesome. Especially because it's going to be so useful. Anyway, and then I used that paper to score my lines. And so I just tried it out yesterday. And I made a bunch of these. Now they're not decorated or anything. They're just basic on here right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can show them. Yeah, show them. And then that one. And some tiny, tiny ones. And here's another tiny one. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then the last one, which is not completely done. It still has a big old trail of glue, watch. Well, you couldn't see it, but it's on there. So let me take that off. And so what you come up with, this one I already folded, but basically allows you to do this fold. And I have two other ones, another one here that are in the mid process of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I did it. Let me see, I have a Sizzix, so you know, the equivalent of whatever it is you use for your file, your embossing folders would be for your Cuttlebug or any other machine. So obviously I'm going to put my cutting platform and my little cutting plate. And then I'm going to get my folder, and what you have to do, I don't know what this is on here, I think it's like glue gunk. What you have to do is, I don't know if you guys can see, but that first line right there, that line is where you're, sorry, this line right here is where you're going to line up your paper. And you know what, let me be right back, I forgot something. Okay, so I have a strip of paper here that I'm going to place in there, and I'm going to place it upside down. It's actually an old paper from an old video, but I'm going to place it upside down so you guys can see it better. And what I went to go grab was my homemade tissue paper, which is giving me a hard time. Anyway, I just cut up a little chunk from a little roll, and I'm just going to peel off a little bit. I don't need that much. So, and you can do whatever tape. I just figured this would be less sticky since it's repositionable. And it's just to make your life easier, but you don't have to do that, especially if you're going to put, like if you're making a bunch of rosettes or whatever it is that you're doing that you need score lines. These are about 1/4 of an inch apart. You can place more than one thing on here if you have, you know, some projects that you're working on. Like I can place another of the same size there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to tape it so it doesn't move as much. So if you had another one, that would come in really handy. And then you just close it up and you put it through your machine. So let me get the machine. And so yeah. Now obviously my folder is not as big as my strip of paper. So when you want to come back in here, just take off the tissue paper. Whoa. Maybe the tissue paper wasn't a good idea. It's really sticking to there. Oh well. So don't use tissue paper. Well, at least if it's homemade like mine. I don't know about the other ones. They might be less sticky. Anyway, so you get these score lines right there. And so what you're going to do, if you have more left over, you don't want to just line up the other side because it's not going to line up with the score marks that are down here. So what you're going to do is actually fold it at the last score line that you have and then line that up with your first line up here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me show you. So you're going to line it up with the first. So hard to see. Okay, there. With the first line. So once it's folded, you line it up with the first line right there, and then put some sort of tape if you want to so it doesn't move around. I'm just going to put the tissue paper back on because it's not really for any project that I'm working on. So let me just grab a tiny bit this time. And I'm like barely going to place it on there. And so I'm going to put it back in my Sizzix thing. Okay. And then we're going to push it through again. I'm holding the camera with one hand, so it's kind of hard. Hold on, let me put it down. Okay, I definitely need to get my room cleaned. I seriously haven't done that, and it's been like 2 weeks, and I was almost done, and now it's worse because I didn't finish all the way, and then I made some projects there, and of course now it's worse. So, okay. And so you open it up, and that assures that your lines, yeah, I'm not using the tissue paper, that your lines are going to be lined up. I'll show you right now. They're the same space away. And so you just, you know, if you're going to do the rosette, and if you, I mean, you can do this for different things. Or like the little award ribbons, you can make them because it's really white in here. So if you have a white strip of paper, then you just pass it through multiple times. Way faster than scoring every single little line, seriously. I mean, it was a little bit hard for me because I was trying to do it with one hand, but it's not hard. And so there you go. And what was I going to tell you? Oh, I was concerned about folding it over and passing it through again because I thought, well, what if, you know, it cuts through my score lines because they're already there, and it's going to be added pressure for, you know, making it go once more through the machine. Well, since you're folding it over, even though you're passing it through again, you have now 2 layers of paper, so you don't really have to worry about it. It won't cut through your paper. And even if you do it a 3rd time, it won't cut through it because you have 3 papers now. So, yeah, I hope you guys are able to use this. It wasn't the best tutorial ever or video ever because I was really unprepared about the place that I'm having it and the way that my camera is set up, so I had a hard time with my camera. But yeah, I still wanted to get the message across, like especially if you're doing a bunch of rosettes like I was for that one project. I sometimes just make them so I can have them on hand, but you can just take out, usually my Sizzix is out, so you just take it out and go make it go through here really quickly. And I'm gonna find a way, just like a tape that doesn't stick on there. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the ones I already have and see if any of them would do that, but all of them would actually stick. Or you can just do it on the back side, because the back side you don't see. So if you tape it on that side, even if you leave a little bit behind, if you're making a rosette, when you collapse it, you won't be able to see it. So, oh, and another thing that I wanted to show you guys, you see how I have the inside circle right here? Well, every time I have scraps pieces of paper, not so much like this one because you can still get a lot, but sometimes you end up with a little piece, like a tiny piece like that, and it's like you can't really use it. Instead of throwing it away, I always get out my punch or my circle punch. This is a scalloped or starburst punch, and then I just punch out whatever I can from there. And if the circle's too big because it's 1 inch, I get another one that has smaller shapes on it, and then, you know, if you have to just go in at the corner and, you know, punch out maybe that, you know, I always do that. And then what I end up doing is I put them in these little containers. So whenever I'm doing my rosettes, maybe not so much for the top because they're not gonna match. Sorry, my nails look dirty, but it's actually just color. I know that these are not, like, let's say if I'm trying to do this, it's not going to match this rosette over here. But for the bottom, it's perfect because nobody sees it. So you just stick it on there and you have your little rosette. I mean, you don't have to waste any of your other paper for it because this is already scraps that would have gone in the trash anyway. So I just wanted to show you guys that. So again, this is from the Paper Studio and I got it at Hobby Lobby. For $3 with my coupon. And I always, like, if I know I'm gonna go buy something, like right now I know that I have to buy glossy accents because I'm running out. If I know there's a coupon, I don't care if I go like the next day, I still take a coupon. Like if I have to go every day because they already know I used one of my coupons, I go back the next day. And I mean, it's easy for me because I live like literally, Joann's is like a minute away, Michael's is like 2 minutes away, no, like 3 minutes, and Hobby Lobby's like 2 minutes, and then Big Lots is right next to Michael's, and the 99cent store is like right next to Joann's. So yeah, it's easy for me to say that, but I understand some of you girls are really far away, so you know, but if you are close, take advantage of that. I mean, I'll go over there every day and just use a coupon, and that way I'm not paying full price. And since it's so close to my house, I could walk, which I don't, or I can just go really quickly, but it's not really going to waste any money. And then I just take my scooter, my little moped, because it's so much fun to drive, unless it's raining, but I don't waste any gas, and I get a discount every day on everything that I want. So for me, sometimes it's a bummer when things are on sale, unless they're 40% off or more, because sometimes they're just 25%. You know, when they say buy one, get one, 50% off, that's 25% off of each one, because you're getting 50% for one of them, but the other one's full price, so it's 25% off of each one. So, or when they're just 30, it's kind of like a bummer, but when they're not on sale, I'm okay because I can use my coupon for 40% off. So anyway, thanks for listening to me just talk and talk and talk. And if you guys are by Hobby Lobby or wherever they sell this brand, pick that up. It's really useful. I really appreciate that I could find something. Obviously, it's not meant for that purpose. It's a little binder notebook type paper embossing folder, but obviously I can use it for that too. But I am loving the fact that I can use it for this and not have to get out the big Martha Stewart and, you know, go through there every quarter of an inch, mark it and mark it and mark it. It bugs me. So way faster, way better. And so thanks for listening to me, and see you guys next time. Bye.